Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So have you ever needed to find something fast like a name in a phone book or a student's score by their ID? That's exactly what Java HashMap is built for. In just milliseconds, HashMap lets you store and retrieve key value pairs like names and numbers, IDs and records, or words and their meanings, all with lightning fast access. Behind the scenes, it uses a powerful data structure called a hash table, allowing you to look up values almost instantly without looping through everything. Whether you are building a login system, a caching mechanism, or even a word counter, HashMap is your go-to tool for quick, efficient, and flexible data handling. So it's like a dictionary for your code, is smart, fast, and super handy. So let's dive in and unlock the power of HashMap in Java. So in this video, we will be learning that what is HashMap in Java and how we use it from start. So if you understand this video and if you enjoy this amazing tutorial, so remember to hit a like, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's dive into it. Alright, so we are on the computer screen, and like I've told you in the start that today in this video I will be telling you that what is HashMap in Java and basically how we use it. So if we talk about HashMap, first of all, before working on this HashMap thing in Java which we normally use, and for that we need to also import a package and his class as well. But before understanding about HashMap, we need to understand that what we have learned in the previous videos, because this video is also related to the previous videos which we have understand. So in the array list chapter, like when we have understand about array list in the previous video, you have learned that arrays store items as an ordered collection and you have to access them with an index number which is called as init type. A hash map, however, stores items in key value pairs and you can access them by an index of another type, example a string. So normally when we were just working with array list in the previous video, so we were storing items in an ordered collection, like we were storing the items with index number which is called init integer as well. So a hash map, when you are just storing items in hash map, like you store items in lists, so for that you need to use key value pairs, and with that key value pairs you can access them by an index number as we were doing in array list as well, but you have to use an array index of another type. Like previously when we were working with array list, so we were using an you can say index number of init type, but in this case we use index of another type which is called a string here. So one object is used as a key index to another object value, and it can store different types like string keys and integer values, or it can also store the same type as well like string keys and string values. So that's the thing which you can do with this hash map here, which you cannot do with array list as we have understand in the previous video. So if you want to create a hash map object, so we need to understand how we can create a hash map object or how we can use this hash map here in Java and what we have to do. So normally, like when we were just working with array list, so we were importing java.util package and then we were importing that array list class. So here as well, if you want to use hash map, first of all you need to import java.util package, and after importing this package you need to write your class name. Like in this case we need to use hash map, so I will be writing dot hash map. So from writing this package name and class name, these both things will be imported in my Java file, and then when you will be using your hash map in the method, so it will be working and you will be getting your hash map working in your output when you will be printing the list which you are printing through this hash map class. So for creating a hash map object called capital cities that will store string keys and string values, this is the example how we are just importing this hash map class using this java.util package, and how we are just creating capital cities that will store string keys and string values. So before understanding this example, we need to open our NetBeans IDE here, because as you know, when we were just working with Java previously in the previous videos, we were using NetBeans IDE, because I think for Java this is best IDE which you can use, because it has all the features and all the things which a beginner needed when they are starting with language like Java. And I will also prefer you to use NetBeans IDE if you are a beginner here, but if you are an intermediate or advanced level Java programmer and if you have already used NetBeans IDE, so you can use some other IDEs as well. Like in offline you can use Android Studio, Eclipse, VS Code, Notepad, Notepad++. That are the IDEs which you can use for Java. And if you want to use online IDEs, so you can use Rapid, Jupyter. There are other IDEs as well which you can use online for Java, but these two are like I have used these two IDs, so I think these two are best here if you want to use Java. And if you want to just understand what is the, you can say, most used ID in online, it is Jupyter Notebook. And if you are a beginner, if you don't have offline ID, so you can use Jupyter Notebook as well. It is good for beginners. So moving on to this NetBeans ID, I will be just removing this start page, because when you will be just downloading it and when you will be opening your NetBeans ID, or if you have already installed it and still if you are opening it, so you will be getting same start page as I am getting here. And after that, if you have already created a file in Java like this, I have created main.java file, so I am already getting this file here. So if you have already created the file, you will be also getting the file after the start page here. So here we have already created main.java file, so I will be removing all the things which we have written in main.java file, because in previous video when we were working with array list, I have told you everything about that. So in this video, now we need to understand how we can use this hash map, or how we can import hash map class and its package called Java util. So I will be copying these things here, and after copying we need to move onto our NetBeans ID again. I will be pasting it, and obviously if I will be running this thing, I will be getting an error if I show you. So you can just see, not an error, but it is saying me that the class main which you are importing is not having a main method. We need to create a main method of this java.util.hashmap class as well, which we have not created yet. So moving on to my Word document here. Now first of all, importing this, we need to understand how we can add items in our hashmap class which we are creating. To add items, the hashmap class has many useful methods. For example, to add items to it, use the put method. Like if you want to add items to your hashmap class, you can use put method, which is, you can say, most commonly used method to just add items in a hashmap class. But there are some other methods as well which you can use to add items in your hashmap class here. So this is the example how we are using this put method to just import many items here in our hashmap class which we are creating. So I have imported these items here, like England, London, Germany, Berlin, Norway, Oslo, USA, Washington DC, and we have seen this capital cities example in the common list, or you can say in index list as well. Like when we were working with array list, we have understand this example as well. So here also, if we are working with hash map, we need to understand that how we can just use it here by like adding these all things. So moving on, I will be just copying this here, and after copying, I will be moving on to my NetBeans ID and I will be replacing it here. So I will be just removing this thing, and instead of this, I will be pasting this, in which we are getting our method as well. So now we will be not getting any error like your main method is not defined or your main method is not working. Now we will be getting all these things printed in the output. So I will be pressing right click and I will be pressing run file, and after pressing run file, you can just see here in the output we are getting USA, Washington DC, Norway, Oslo, England, London. Means we are getting all the countries and their cities printed, each and you can say each other like this as we want in our is curly brackets here, because obviously if you are creating a list here using hash map, so you need to use curly braces for that, and that's the reason we are getting all the things in the output in curly braces here, but perfectly fine, like the country and city as same as we want. So that's the way how you can use this hash map class and how you can add items to this hash map class using this put method which we are using here to add different countries and their city names. Moving on to my Word document again, then there are some other methods which you can use here in this hash map. Like if you want to access an item, how you can do that in hash map. To access a value in the hash map, you can use get method and you can refer to its key. So this get method which we normally use in hash map, we use it to just access an item. Like if I want to access this country name called England and I want to change it to another country name, so for that I need to use .get method so that I can access this England item and then I can change it to another method. Like if we want to remove an item, so to remove an item we need to use remove method and we can refer to the key again. So I will be using capital cities, which is my variable name in which I am creating a list here, and after writing this capital cities name, we need to just write our method name which we want to use. So I need to remove a element here or item in my list, so for that I will be using .remove method, and in that .remove method I will be writing my item name which I need to remove here in my list. So in this case I need to remove this England, so I will be writing .remove method in which I will be writing this England, and then when you will be running this thing, so you will be not getting England printed because it will be removed from your list that time. So that's the way how you can use these different methods to access an item, to remove an item, and to add an item. Moving down, if you want to understand how you can see the size of your hash map class which you are creating, like in hash map class, if you have created many lists and you want to check what is the size of that list which you have created, so to find out how many items there are, you can use size method. So this is the way how you can use size method. You can say the method will be same, but you can say the method name will be different. Like in this case, we are using dot clear to just remove all items. If we want to remove all items in our list, so we will be using dot clear. And same if we want to just see the size of our hash map class, so for that I will be using dot size. So method we are using is same, but the method names are different here. So if you want to loop through a hash map, so if you want to do like looping through a hash map class, so if you want to do loop through the items of a hash map with a for each loop, so it is just preferring me that if you want to loop through a hash map, you can use for each loop for that. And there is one note also written which is saying me use the key set method if you only want the keys, and if you want to use the values method if you only want the values printed. So here in this case we are using key set method, and why I'm using key set method, because I only want the keys and I need to use the values method as well because I want to print the values as well. So that's the reason why I'm using this key set method and this values method to print both things in my output. So that's the example, or you can say that's the way how you can just loop through a hash map, which is really important. So I will be just you can say I will be just moving down and I will be just copying this thing here so that I can show you by running it in the output how we are getting this running here. So I will be just moving on to my NetBeans ID. I will be pasting down, and after doing it I will be just running this thing here. So if I run this file, so you can just see we are getting keys and the values printed here, and that's the way how you can do it using this looping through hash map thing here. So I hope you understand how we are just working with it. So moving down here, there are some other types as well which you can just apply. There are key and values in a hash map, and that are actually called objects. And in the example above, we use objects of type string. So we remember that a string in Java is an object and not a primitive type. So if you want to use other types such as init, you must specify an equivalent wrapper class like integer, or for other primitive types you can use boolean, which is another data type which we normally use in Java. And you can also use character data type, or you can also use double data type. So these are some data types which you can use if you want to change hash map to another object like a string. Moving down, there is another example how we are creating an hash map object called people, and then we are storing string keys and integer values in this hash map objects. Like at the top as well, we have created a hash map object, but that was a simple object which we have created. But in this case, now we are creating an object in which we are creating a variable name called people, and in that variable I am storing string keys and integer values, and that's you can say really important thing which we need to know if we are working with this hash map here. So I will be just copying this thing and I will be replacing it with my NetBeans ID here so that I can show you. So you can just see this time when you will be running, so you will be getting a different output previously you were getting. You can just see the values and the keys, we are getting it printed successfully, and that's the way how you can loop through a hash map, and how you can just add items in your hash map, how you can remove items. I hope you understand all the things here. So if you have understand this video in which we have learned that how we can use hash map in Java, or what is hash map in Java, so remember to hit a like to this amazing video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So just I will be meeting you next tutorial or in next project using Java. So for today, goodbye.